Hi, my name is Gabrielle Skripik. Today my audience member will be my father, Joseph Skripik. Say hi, Dad.
Hi.
And today I'm going to be doing my demonstrative speech on how to properly pack a suitcase. There's nothing worse when you're preparing for a trip than having to pack your luggage. It's time consuming, it's stressful, you're never sure if you've got everything, and then inevitably when you get on your vacation, magically your suitcase has turned into a giant jumble of everything that you packed. However, when you know how to pack and you pack effectively for organization and for space saving, you find that it actually makes your trip a lot less stressful when you can open your bag and just know where everything is. I've traveled a lot during my childhood, and I always found that no matter how many different ways I packed or when I just threw things in my bag, it just was a huge jumble of mess, and I spent more time in the morning of my vacation searching through my bag longer than I wanted to, when I could be playing on the beach or when I could be getting on the next roller coaster. And so as I got older, I discovered there was this really great way to pack your bag that was space effective, it was organized, and it just made your trip that less stressful. So the way that I pack, I always pack with my bulkiest items on the bottom, things like shoes and heavy coats and pants, things that are heavy and they're dense and they just take up that room that you just don't have to spare. And then I stack upward with things like shirts and accessories and hats and other things that you need. And I found that as you did this, it created this very organized sort of stratification in your suitcase that you could find everything. So obviously some of the things that you'll need to pack a suitcase are things like a bag that is size appropriate, along with all the clothes that you need. Obviously determine it for weather and where you're going. So I always start with my shoes on the bottom. Shoes are dirty and they're heavy, and just for that fact alone, you don't want them at the top of your bag. And so what I also found is that also when you start with things like your tennis shoes or boots or heavy shoes like that, they're a great space saver because you can stuff things like your socks and your more personal items in them. It keeps them organized, it keeps them in a solid place in your bag, and it saves you space. And I always like to put my shoes off to one side or the other, as it just keeps them organized. And it keeps them in one place in my bag when I get on vacation that I can find them. And as you can see, it doesn't take up very much space in your bag, and it keeps them off. And I also, in one go, have packed socks and my shoes along with other personal items. After that, I like to move to my heavier things like pants or jeans, things that are they're bulky, they're kind of heavy. And again, they take up that room. And I've always found that the best way to organize them is to do one pair right over the top of your shoes. It prevents the dirt from getting on your clean shirts, and jeans just being a little more durable, just do a better job packing those in. And I found that as I go about and kind of just lay them across the bottom of my bag, it creates this nice bottom layer without taking up too much space. As you can see, most of this bag is empty. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, meaning it leaves a whole lot of room for all of the other things that have to go in your bag. After that, after you've got those heavy, bulky items down at the bottom of your bag, you can move on to things like shirts and tops, things that are much lighter, that are stackable, things that are easy to organize in your bag. And the other benefit of putting your heavier items on the bottom is that you actually reduce the chance of wrinkling for your shirts, for your tops, other things that you're going to need right away. And the great thing about shirts, as you can see, I'm packing a lot of t-shirts for some place that would be warm. It's really great because they stack and they create a very nice effect in your bag, as you can stack them up one side and they're right there. So when you open your bag, there are your shirts, they're stacked, they're clean, and they're ready to go. After that, after you have your essentials, things like pants and shirts, you have to put in things like your toiletries, which can also be kind of a pain. I've discovered in traveling that even when I'm not flying, using things like a plastic bag can be such a stress saver when I'm on a trip. Because we all inevitably have those things that like to explode in our bag, whether you're driving and your suitcase is under someone else's or you're in a plane and altitude changes. Things like toothpaste and shampoo and perfume love to go everywhere. And so I found a really great tool is putting everything in a plastic bag, because that way if anything does explode, it's contained, it's not all over your clothes, and though it's a pain to have to wipe down all of your toiletries, at least it's not having to wash everything in your bag to get rid of that nice shampoo perfume smell. And what I found works really great is that opposite of where your clothes go, just on the bottom, to just lay your toiletry bag right there. So we've packed our clothes, we've packed our toiletries, we've packed our shoes. What's great about this system is that it leaves you space for those more fun things that you want to take with you. Things like hats, because weather changes when you're on vacation, and it's just nice to have those options. You can also pack things like an extra bag. For women, this is a must, and it can be so hard to just get your purse on a plane, or in a car, or just at your feet, which is really great because when you pack your bag efficiently and space effective, you also have that extra room to just put your purse right in your bag, and you don't even have to worry about it until you are on vacation. Other things that it leaves room for are things like a travel companion. For some people, this is a huge must and is just as important as your clothes, or as your shoes, or as your toiletries. And so what's really great about the system is that it also just leaves you space for things that bring you comfort. The other great thing that it leaves space for, in my case, are those Christmas things that you have to take with you when you're having the holidays with your family. And it leaves you space for gifts and for stockings and for all that other stuff that you would need. And as you can see, my bag is not all that full. I have lots of space, I know where everything is, and everything's very organized. So by using the system and by packing this way, I have saved space, I have stayed organized, and when I get on vacation, I know where everything in my bag is. And it makes my trip that much easier. So why settle for a messy, cluttered, disorganized bag that can't even fit everything that you want? When you pack your bag effectively and you pack it organized, you have much less stress and you spend less of your time worrying about that bag and having to dig for your clothes. Then you can just be out enjoying your vacation and enjoying whatever trip that you're on.